You guys know what I want to talk about, but I got to go through everything else first. I really want to talk about Shane McMahon, but I can't. If I do, I'm going to forget about everything else. So let's go for the women first. Mickie Jane and Alexa Bliss, and also Natalya and Becky Lynch. Look, I like the match with... I'm kind of frustrated here. Because it's not the problem with Alexa Bliss and Mickie Jane. It was a great match. In fact, it was better than the match between Natalya and Becky Lynch. It actually was, because it was a fresh match and we'd never seen them do it before. But the crowd for the Mickie Jane and Alexa Bliss match was dead. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, what's your problem? It was a better match than Becky Lynch and Natalya. But guess what? The crowd was happy to see Becky Lynch. They were cheering for Becky Lynch. And I'm not taking anything away from Natalya. As a heel, Natalya is one of the best they got. She actually is. But you guys tell me below about Becky Lynch. I know they're Becky Lynch fans. I'm bored with her. At one point when Smackdown became live and it was new, and she was acting like, I'm like Rocky Balboa. I'm the Italian stallion girl. In a sense like that. She was trying to go through that. And it was different. It wasn't very well done, but it was different. Now she's completely boring. And I said it. Why not turn her into a Celtic warrior? Why can't they do this? Why can't they see? She is acting like a female warrior. Why not take a little bit of Finlay, a little bit of Sheamus, smish them together, and you got a Celtic warrior and a Becky Lynch? Why not? I don't get it. She's just boring. But tell me below the reason why she is not boring and why she's doing so well. Because to be honest, she's not been booked very well. She's not had one true meaningful feud. I mean, Alexa Bliss was a good feud to a certain extent. And then Natalya was a good feud for a certain extent. But both of them were carrying her. Her character is bland. And that was the problem. Now, Mojo Rawley had a match. And I'm not a big Mojo Rawley fan. I find him average. But then guess who he's paired up with? The very person I said the WWE doesn't give a damn about. And that is Dolph Ziggler. He's now dropped from being in the main event to mid-card. Now he basically is in the undercard with the jobbers. Mojo Rawley should not be pushed. He is a jobber. Unless he's working in a tag team like with Zack Ryder, who is very popular. And that's how he can get over. By himself, he should not be winning any matches. And he won a count-out match. And this is leading into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So Dolph Ziggler's going to be in it. Mojo Rawley's going to be in it. And Mojo Rawley has a count-out win. Why? I don't get it. Mojo Rawley's not that entertaining. He sounds really active and octane, but it does not mean active and octane means a very great performance. It just doesn't always work. I want to say that I am so happy to see Baron Corbin getting a moment. He was with Charlie. I remember the woman's name this time. Charlie's a cute woman. And if those two actually got together, they would actually make a pretty good couple. If he's not with somebody, they actually kind of look nice. And I know Morgan, you're happy. I'm sure you're happy that our boy, our Baron Corbin, is actually getting traction here. He could finally get himself a title. It looks like they're actually pushing for him to have one. Because he has been treated like dirt since the Battle Royal win in WrestleMania. Let's be honest. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal has been a noose around his neck. And now that the next winner, which we know is pretty much the next one is going to be buried for about a year, it's good to see they're doing something with him. Randy Orton segment. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people rather see John Cena versus Randy Orton. That's the truth. They want to see that. Of course, there's a lot of people who say put Randy Orton with Bray Wyatt. It's going to be incredible. Look, I'm not saying that this storyline doesn't have some teeth to it. But let's be honest here. As a match for that title, it's just not strong enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, seeing that they burnt a house down that was condemned was quite good. And then seeing that Bray Wyatt had his moment and talked about, now I've been released because Sister Abigail has given me my power in full. That it was, in a sense, he's saying basically she was limiting the amount of power they had as long as her body was still not burnt. And the minute it was completely burnt, he now has full power. Which doesn't really make much sense. I'm sorry. The woman dies, he should have full power automatically. He should not be having partial power, and then him getting his home burnt down, he gets full power. It just doesn't ring properly. I'll admit, seeing the ash on his face was quite interesting. It was nicely well done. It was. But in the end, as a WrestleMania main event match, you would have been having a better time with AJ Styles, with Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton. I know a triple threat doesn't always work, but you got two very good veterans and one really good newcomer in a Bray Wyatt. Look, AJ Styles has been in the business for about 17 to 18 years. Randy Orton's been there for at least 15 to 16 years. And Bray Wyatt, being the youngest, has been around for at least 6 years. Maybe 5 or 6 years. Really being seen. Not talking about NXT and anything before that. Essentially, it might have worked. But as it stands, even though it has some really good build, it's got teeth, I don't know if it can actually make that show relevant. I just don't know. I'm hoping, but it doesn't mean we'll get it. Miz TV. I felt this was the second best thing of the night. Look, Miz literally was not lying about anything that he said. Everyone who understands how the business goes, you know people will do whatever they can do to get ahead. There are some that try not to go there. Now, I'm not saying that every wrestler is just a backstabbing motherfucker. But there are some that try to do it legitimately. Working hard and trying to get themselves over that way. Of course, like I said in my previous video, everybody tries to give a gimmick to the boss who owns the promotion. It's just trying to see if they can screw someone over to get that position. That's always the part people hate. And that's if this isn't a work, and what happened with Maurice dealing with Nikki Bella and the Bella twins, that's if it's true. It just makes it even more to see that the Cena family in Nikki and John versus the Miz family in Michael Mizbin and basically Maurice Mizbin. Maurice and the Miz are the good guys. John Cena and Nikki Bella are the bad guys. But they're trying to package them as good guys, and to be honest, it's not working. As much as people are to a point cheering for the Cena family, people could tell there's a very good possibility that Mike and his lovely wife are telling the truth. And that Maurice should have been on Total Divas a long time ago. And she does have a legitimate gripe that actually makes this a better feud. I would rather see John Cena versus The Undertaker, to be honest. But are they trying to build this as a good feud on Smackdown? Yes, they are. It's not the best feud, but it is a good one. It is. So I'm actually happy to see this. I am happy to see that this situation is being done. Let's see. Am I forgetting anything? American Alpha. Ugh. Look. I don't hate Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. They're great wrestlers. They can talk to a certain extent. But the tag title picture has been a joke. Look. The Ascension has not been pushed. The Vaudevillains have not been pushed. Until Zack Ryder got hurt, the Hype Bros were not being pushed. The Man Beast and the Beauty of Heath Slater was the only one that was being pushed. And the Usos, that is the biggest joke of them all. The Usos were packaged in the very beginning of SmackDown, going live by itself as its own entity. They got pushed in the right way, and then they got freaking buried by Man Beast and the Beauty. By the Odd Couple. And since then, they've been a joke. they've been a joke. And then they had several title matches, and they've been a joke again. Then they had the opportunity to actually get some gold. Instead of them being allowed to win, they jobbed. And then they jobbed again. And then they jobbed to jobbers and anyone else. It's ridiculous. And now they let them win, nearing WrestleMania. Now possibly having a chance, if it's not on the main show, it's going to be on the kickoff show. It's freaking ridiculous. The Smackdown Live Tag Team Division is a freaking piece of garbage. It doesn't make a difference if you believe the Ascension can't do anything right and the Vaudevillains can't do anything right. They are the only viable teams, and you should have done something with one of them and allowed them to get ahead. You should not make them always jobbers the way things normally work. If you want the title picture for the... calm down. If you want what's going on in the tag team division to be relevant, you have to push the jobbers sooner or later to give the positions some meaning. The American Alphas have to go up against somebody who's relevant, and the Ascension was not relevant. They had all that push until the last... That pay-per-view was a joke. It was. The SmackDown before that pay-per-view was a joke. It was. And this was stupid. I'm sorry. As much as I'm glad to see the Usos win, it's just dumb. Now, am I forgetting anything? If I'm forgetting something, I'm sorry. Leave me a comment below what I forgot. Oh, Carmella is now going to be in the title picture for the SmackDown Women's at WrestleMania. We still don't know what the match is, but I'm glad that she's going to be there. That just makes it better, so Naomi will come back and kick her ass. Now it's time. I want to talk about the attack of Shane and what the hell happened at the end of the show. Look, AJ opening the show was good, showing how angry he was. Dealing with Daniel Bryan was good. Then beating the shit out of Shane and ramming his head into a car, making him have a laceration, was good. No problem with it. Finlay and Jamie Noble, for all people, trying to get Shane to go to a doctor, go to a hospital. He's saying, no, I'm going out and I'm going to say something. And here's where it gets really interesting. After everything was done in the show, Shane comes out. I want to say this. Generally, this is what he said. I'm going to say this. AJ wants a match at WrestleMania. He's going to... I know he said get it. And then they cut off and go to, what is it? Family Life of somebody. I forget that guy's Chris somebody. Why? Of course they're going to show it on the network. But you're telling me, ladies and gentlemen, that something that's supposed to be important to the WWE, to set up the WrestleMania, and there's not everyone's got the network on the internet. Not everyone's going to the WWE network because, one, they can't probably afford $9.99, and I know people can say, oh, please, you can't. No! There's some people who don't even have internet. Some people do not have enough to pay for their internet, let alone just regular cable. You know how much it is in New York to pay for cable internet, phone, and cable internet? Almost $200. I'm lucky that I'm only paying internet straight for $60. That's it. No phone, no cable. Just internet. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you did it, but not everyone does. They still watch regular cable. So what the WWE didn't do here, and they do that on Raw, is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. You're telling me that Vince would not try to ask for at least an extra minute to SmackDown. 1 extra minute for him to get out what he needed to say. You're telling me they cut it off instantly and go straight to that, whatever, Chris somebody's life, where supposedly his daughter gets into a car accident. That's the only thing I got from when they were showing scenes of it in SmackDown. Because I don't watch the show. I want to see SmackDown. And now, instead of hearing a wonderful speech that Shane McMahon probably was going to say, I'm going to have to see if I can catch it on maybe a video recording of the rest of what he said. Or if they put it on the WWE website that's on YouTube and they'll show it. So stupid. That was stupid. it's good to see they're going to have, and I know one of my subscribers said, get ready. I think it was Legend. Legend said it, that there's a good chance AJ is going to have a match with Shane McMahon. I say this, if it does happen, this is a good thing, because Shane McMahon giving a AJ Styles a rub like that is a good one. No matter if AJ loses or wins, he's going to be at WrestleMania with Shane McMahon, the boss's freaking son. That will give him a lot of cred. It will. If he doesn't win, or if he does win, that's going to look good for AJ. Because he's going to be working with someone who is literally born into the freaking business. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that AJ's not going to get screwed over here in a certain extent. He is. But it doesn't mean it won't be a bad thing. That's just the way I feel about it. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below, and I hope you enjoyed the Zane view. Please give me a comment below. Well, Smackdown review on Zane's view. I keep forgetting that big stuff anyway. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.